From Pioneer Field in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, Charter Communications presents exclusive coverage of Central Mass High School football. Today, the top two teams in Central Mass square off as number 1 St. John's hosts number 2 Wachusett. It's high school football on Charter TV3. Hello, everyone, and welcome down to the field. I'm Kevin Shea, joined alongside by Andy Lacombe. Andy, you look at this Wachusett offense, and they are a three-headed monster in the backfield. They have great running backs. They're a ball control offense. We're going to focus on Matt Pedoni, possibly the quickest of all the 3 running backs.
Yeah, and Pedoni, when he gets to the corner, he is tough to stop, and he's got a big line and some big blockers ahead of him that help him get there. Pedoni, Darko, White, this is a backfield that will try to possess the football all game long. For Wachusett to be successful, their offense must be on the field for the majority of this game.
And when you talk about offense in the St. John's offense, quarterback Griffin Murphy is the key there. He has thrown for 20 touchdowns, and he leads the team in rushing.
Mechanically, I mean, he's one of the best quarterbacks in Central Massachusetts. A lot of fun to watch. And in a new spread offense this season, he has flourished, making reads and making progressions all the way through the season. He's got 4 to 5 really strong receivers that he can hit in this offense. St. John's is an explosive team, and they have a possibility with Murphy to put up some big points every week.
Who's the best team in Central Mass? It will be decided on the field today. Number 1 St. John's and number 2 Wachusett. We're back with the opening kickoff right after this. There's John Andrioli, the head coach of St. John's. He is a 3rd generation St. John's alum. His son, young John, 4th generation. Now playing baseball at UConn. John was a standout football player. John Andrioli, the coach, standout football player here at St. John's and then at Holy Cross, and played professionally. Mike Dubzinski, what great success he has had at Wachusett Regional High School and just elevated that program. Perennial Super Bowl contenders. Last year it was Wachusett winning the battle between these two teams by a touchdown. Mountaineers had a great season, and no team has given up fewer points in Division I than Wachusett. Wachusett only gives up 8 points a game.
Here's a look at Division 1A. Wachusett and St. John's tied atop. 3-0 record. This for the top spot in the top division in Central Mass. And to each team's credit, both teams not looking at the past, only looking at this year's game as their focus.
John Vassar's across the 20, 25. Vassar to the outside, has some room. He's got some speed. Vassar is across midfield and knocked out of bounds in Wachusett territory down to the 48-yard line. A 43-yard return from John Vassar, and St. John's will be in excellent field position.
Well, that third facet of the game, special teams, can get you set up, and it's exactly what John Vassar's done with a good return, getting St. John's good field position on their first offensive possession. And it's a good thing Wachusett has one of the fastest kickers in Central Mass, and Connor McDavitt, who's able to get over there and make the tackle.
Well, St. John's had a couple of good kick returns against Xaverian last week. Not much went right for the Pioneers in that game, Xaverian winning. Xaverian, the number 1 team in Eastern Mass. Dan Light on first down, the junior, a game captain today, and he gets forward for 4 yards.
The spread set for St. John's. Quarterback Griffin Murphy, running back the lone set John Vassar. You saw Light there. He'll be split out as well. Richard Rodgers, Christian Domain, Dan Light, and Will Ferracco, the receivers. Chris Martineau, Tyler Pike, Big Troy Moore in the center with Michael Calamari and Tim Granger up front for this St. John's offensive line.
There are some big boys on both sides of the line, and they will be going at it for 2 hours today. Murphy will go from the shotgun. The spread offense, something St. John's decided to put in almost immediately following last season. That is incomplete, intended for Will Ferracco.
Well, they like to run that screen to Ferracco. Won't be the last time probably you see that. Here's Casey Devereaux up front for Wachusett with Chad Madison, Tyler Catalina, and Kyle Daigle. The linebackers, Eric Darko, Ryan Bennett, Gary White, Nick Champlin, with Garrett Ambrosino, BJ Foley, and Mike Bates in the defensive secondary.
And that secondary certainly will be tested today.
You got to watch out, too, when Ferracco's in that flat. He's one of the fastest guys, if not the fastest, according to his coach, on this team.
Mike Dubzinski says they have not faced a team as athletic as St. John's, Wachusett. Murphy to throw over the middle, looking for Rodgers, incomplete. And the pressure was coming right up the middle. Good pressure from Wachusett, forcing Murphy to throw that ball a little early, and Garrett Ambrosino had good coverage on the far sideline.
Yeah, and it's absolutely the pressure up the center of the football field that kind of forced that timing of that throw a little bit off. And Nice job from Wachusett on their first defensive series to kind of counter the big special teams play and force a 3 and out.
Richard Rodgers will punt it away, and Matt Pedoni stands at his own 10.
Fake.
It's a fake punt, and it's going to come up short. It comes up a yard short. So Wachusett holding on special teams, and the Mountaineers now have some momentum as their offense comes onto the field. They will start from their own 40.
Well,
Great job of recognizing
Yeah,
that.
you're in a good set if you're St. John's. Good part of the field to try to run the fake, maybe try to set the tone early. And I guess it shows a little bit of the confidence that St. John's has in their defensive plan to give Wachusett good field position. A punt probably would have pinned him back inside the 20. Big stop for Wachusett, though.
Matt LeBlanc, under center, has thrown for 174 yards and 2 touchdowns this year, but it is the running attack of Wachusett that has been their bread and butter. Darko on first down, and Darko picks up 4 yards on first down, and that is the game plan for Wachusett.
Yeah, if they can get 4 to 5 yards to carry, they're going to be in good stead here this afternoon. Matt LeBlanc, the quarterback with Pedoni, Darko, and Gary White. The running backs, you'll see McMillan there as well. Garrett Ambrosino, the split end. Casey Devereaux, the tight end. Tyler Wiseman, Tom Long, Alex Goodisle, Shane Murray, and Kyle Daigle up front for Wachusett.
Matt LeBlanc's older brother played here at St. John's, so you know this one has extra special meaning in the LeBlanc household. Gary White, the fullback, on second down, may have gotten a yard. And you can see this, the emotions running. Oh, now a flag flies.
Well, a good surge from Tyler Pike defensively. Dan Light, Troy Moore, Tyler Pike, and Connor Candido up front. Shane McGrail, Sean Burlinson, Will Ferracco, Michael Hogan are the linebackers with Matt Higgins, Tim Wickstrom, and Richard Rodgers, the free safety.
Well, these are two teams that don't like each other and make no bones about it. Number 1 and number 2. And you get a personal foul here. This will hurt Wachusett. You know, and kids always want to set the tone early, and it doesn't matter what level of football you play. You always talk about setting that tone early, getting the first hit, knocking your man off the ball. Someone hitting a little late that time and gets flagged for 15.
Well, the penalty's huge because Wachusett, a running team, you know, third and long situations, this is where St. John's would like to keep them all afternoon.
LeBlanc is a tough customer at quarterback. He can run as well. Rolling to his right under some pressure. Now he does tuck it under and run. And he's dropped after a pickup of 4. And Wachusett will be forced to punt. Sean Burlinson made the tackle.
Well, he did well, did LeBlanc, to get 4 because Troy Moore was coming unabated in the center of the football field. See Moore coming on the back end, and LeBlanc able to get through and pick up a couple of yards and set up a little bit better field position perhaps for a punt. And they like Trevor Larson back there returning punts for St. John's. They think he's one of the top return guys in the area to the St. John's coaches.
Connor McDavitt, one of the best kickers in Central Mass, punting and kick it off, a high hanging kick. Here is Larson. And Larson's met at the 33 and dropped there. Good tackle that time on special teams by Mike Canario.
Yeah, and Canario did a nice job containing and doing his job, forcing Larson back inside and not getting him to use his speed to the corner.
It was a 37-yard punt and a 6-yard return.
And the important part of the punt, it was a high-hanging punt. Good time up on the air and helped the coverage team. There's Chris Moriarty, the offensive coordinator here for St. John's.
Of course, he ran this spread offense so well at Burncoat High School. First year here with the Pioneers. Vassar on first down. And Vassar gets it out to the 40, a pickup of 5 yards on first down. Ryan Bennett made the tackle for Wachusett.
Of course, you have some pretty good offensive minds for St. John's when you have Moriarty and Coach Bradley, former Holy Cross and Worcester Academy, among other places here working with this St. John's offense. And that's what Vassar can do from the single back. When the field is spread, he can really get some hard yardage in the middle of the football field.
4 wide receiver set for St. John's. Murphy hands it off to Light. And Light is met and stacked up after a short gain of 1.
Well, Light, a quick kid, good physical guy, averages about 7 yards per carry on the season so far. But Wachusett, you know, I think they'd probably prefer to keep this game in the center of the football field. He meets Gary White and Casey Devereaux there among others, in on the tackle for the Mountaineers.
Light is a guy who burst onto the scene last year during this game. He scored 2 touchdowns as a sophomore against Wachusett. Wasn't even listed in the program. 3rd down. Murphy fires, incomplete, intended for Farraco, and he overthrew him. And Bates was right there to apply the hit. Mike Bates, one of the hardest hitters on the field today. He will line people up and tattoo them.
Well, pretty good time for Murphy to try to set and throw there, but just a little high on the throw. And Wachusett collapsing that pocket a little bit. White jersey's doing a nice job on defense.
So the Wachusett defense holds and forces a punt again. Rodgers with that rugby-style punt runs to his right, now gets it away. Padoni's going to have to let it hit. Farraco is down there. And we'll down it at the 21-yard line, and that is where the Wachusett offense will take over. A 37-yard punt and no return.
Now, Richard Rodgers, such a talented kid on all sides, 3 sides of the football. That rugby punt, you got to watch out because he has an arm like a cannon too. So, you know, that always sets up interesting scenarios if you're a special teams coach on the other side. But a field position game early in this one.
Rodgers has been hobbled a bit by a leg injury, but was kicking the ball off in the pregame, was punting in the pregame, so you would think he's doing better anyway. Not 100%, but doing better. LeBlanc under center. Here's Padoni. Padoni makes a man miss at the line of scrimmage, and he's across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Matt Padoni is so quick.
Well, he's a shifty back, and watch his feet. Keeps his feet, puts a little juke move on, and is able to create some yardage when the hole was closing up around him.
Padoni has 11 rushing touchdowns on the season, averaging over 8 yards a carry. And that's the thing about this Wachusett team. They don't feature just one back. Here is Darko. And Darko gets about out to the 30-yard line, a pickup of 2. It'll be 3rd down and short for Wachusett.
Well, this St. John's defense, you know, they've challenged themselves this week. By their own admission, they've had some trouble stopping the run, and here's what they have coming in statistically. Padoni 710 yards, Darko 584, and White 276. You know, they spread it out pretty well, does Wachusett. But that time, Troy Moore, Tyler Pike, the center of this defense, again, stopping it up. It's going to be a close to the mark for a 1st down. But, you know, again, St. John's shoring up that center of the field pretty well early in this game.
Yeah, they were hurt certainly last week against Xaverian by the run and specifically by the option as well. So they will be less than a yard short. It'll be 3rd down and about a half a yard.
Good look at the St. John's crowd. Big crowd here on both sides. I mean, this game drawing a lot of hype, and there were tailgaters here early this morning, or early this afternoon.
Yeah, and the parking lot had a college feel to it. 3rd down, less than a half a yard. White, Darko, and Padoni all in the backfield for Wachusett. LeBlanc is under center. He goes 215, started on defense as a freshman, then suffered a toe injury last year. It's Padoni. Padoni's got the corner, the 1st down and more. To the sideline. Padoni's across midfield to the 30, 20. Rodgers trying to close. Will not get him. Matt Padoni in for the touchdown. 70 yards. And Wachusett has struck first. It's 6-0 Mountaineers.
Wow, you got to look at his quickness. Richard Rodgers runs a lot of guys down. Of course, he's hurt a little bit, but Padoni able to get that corner and outrace everyone to the end zone.
Well, we talked about that early on. The speed of Matt Padoni. He is a game changer. And he comes up with the first big play of the game today.
What a run. I'll tell you, St. John's had everybody basically in the box between the tackles, and Wachusett went outside and got that corner.
Flag flies. Connor McDavitt will be on for the point after. He's as sure a kicker as you're going to see. See what the flag is. Illegal substitution on St. John's. See if that doesn't change. Probably not what Wachusett will do if they're tempted to go for 2. Twice in this series, while Mike Dobzinski has been the head coach at Wachusett, they have gone for 2 in the win and not gotten it against St. John's. And the games have been that close. I love the idea and the aggressiveness, though. If it's 1 for a tie, 2 for the win, they're going to go for 2 in the win.
Yes, yes.
And McDavitt puts it up and through. 5:47 remaining here in the first quarter. 7-0 Wachusett.
Good blocks on the end, tackle and the wing back out there, and nice job from Wachusett. And then the speed to get to the corner from Pedoni. And now he's got one man to beat, and Rodgers has some good wheels, but it was a heck of a job from Pedoni. He got a block from Darko and his tackle on the outside, and just a well-blocked, well-designed play for Wachusett. Again, St. John's looking perhaps up the middle. That's the strength of their defense, and Wachusett goes to the outside and use their speed.
And you know what? There's a lot of teams right now, 7 other teams in Central Mass, 8 rather, that have seen how explosive Matt Pedoni can be. This Wachusett team 8-0, and one of the big reasons why is Matt Pedoni and what great field vision he has and the explosiveness he has. That last drive, 3 plays covering 79 yards, took 57 seconds off the clock. Pedoni going the distance. His 12th touchdown rushing of the season, averaging 8 yards a carry, and that average will go up now. McDavitt crushing the kick. Exactly what you'd want from your special teams.
And that's the way to eliminate the run back, is drill the kick through the end zone. Force St. John's to start at the 20.
I think Bates drilled someone on the kickoff right there. You want to watch number 1 if you can on the kickoff team, because he absolutely crushes people on the kickoff. There's Connor McDavitt. He's got a great weapon he is.
He's got a next level leg as a guy who can kick the football, and he's got a lot of speed, and he's a good baseball player as well. He's,
yeah,
again, probably the fastest kicker in the skill game in Central Mass.
Griffin Murphy dumping it back across the middle, incomplete. It was intended for Farraco, a little behind him. Good coverage by Wachusett. The Mountaineers trying to read the eyes of Murphy, and that time Bates was one of the men along with Ryan Bennett there for Wachusett in coverage.
Well, they don't want Murphy. Wachusett doesn't want Murphy to get into a comfort zone, because if he does, he can pick you apart. And right now, the St. John's coaches making their adjustments and trying to find what's open in the field against this Wachusett defense.
4 wide receiver set. Light is the lone setback. Dan Light gets the call, and Light is met by Gary White. But a good pickup on 2nd down for St. John's, and it'll bring up 3rd and short.
Well, Light just able to surge ahead. Takes that initial contact from Gary White. White able to hang on. Nice job in the middle of the field from 44, but Light, good 7-yard pickup. That's about what he averages on the season.
St. John's 0 for 2 on 3rd down so far today. 3rd and 3 right now from their own 26. Murphy again, a threat to run. Stands in the pocket, going deep for Light. Incomplete. Darko is in coverage. May have just mistimed the jump. Light is the backup quarterback. He is a tremendous athlete. 6'3" and 215.
Yeah, just having to throw over some of the big outstretched arms, and yeah, just maybe mistimed that jump on the outside. Light had a little bit of separation from the defender.
So Rodgers will punt to Pedoni. Can Pedoni electrify the Wachusett crowd once again? Rodgers punting away from Pedoni. It'll hit, it'll take a Wachusett bounce. It is marked out of bounds at the 44-yard line of St. John's, and that's where the Wachusett offense will take over.
Now Rodgers took a little shot after the punt. Came up looking for a call, but Wachusett, St. John's, this is going to be a physical matchup all the way through.
And if you're Wachusett, that's one of the guys you want to hit him on every single play. You want to make life as miserable as you can for Rodgers out here, because he is such a game changer. Wachusett's going to take a timeout. I think they had some personnel issues.
Well, you have two really well-coached teams, 2 good staffs here in Central Massachusetts. When you talk about John Andrioli's club and Mike Dobzinski on the other side, you know, they got a lot of different coaches on that have their own assignments, and You know, they work well as staffs, and that's why they've been two of the top programs here in Central Mass the last several years. Of course, St. John's a perennial power.
St. John's coming, and the handoff to White. It's McMillan instead. Matt McMillan. And he gets forward for a couple. And that's one of the great things that Wachusett has in that offensive backfield. They have great depth at running back. And it may not show, the fruits of this may not show in the first, second quarter, even the third. But in the fourth quarter, when you have 3 or 4 fresh running backs that you're running at a defense that may be a little tired or weary, that's when you'll see some runs get broken.
Especially when you got guys like White and McMillan, who could be offensive linemen with their size, the way they run, just pounding away at you.
McMillan has a 75-yard touchdown run against Shepherd Hill earlier this year. Darko hurdles him at the line of scrimmage, spins through another tackle, and it'll be 3rd and short. Good yardage from Eric Darko, who picks up 6 yards on the play.
And again, you know, when the hole isn't that big in the center of the field, but Darko's able to get through and then spins away. See Troy Moore and Will Farraco making the tackle for Wachusett. Farraco does a nice job to get around the numbers of the running back and make sure he doesn't get away.
Darko's averaging 9 yards a carry this year. It's Darko again, trying to bounce it to the outside. Nothing doing this time. Good pursuit from the St. John's defense. And Light was one of the guys over there closing along with Trevor Larson.
Well, it really started on the edge with Farraco and company kind of forcing that play to the outside. See Darko trying to get outside. Look at Farraco. He came in and kind of forced him to go east-west, get to the sideline, and then St. John's pursued the play well.
Larson had 3 tackles last week against Zavarian, had 6 earlier this season against Westboro. McDavitt will punt from midfield, hammers one. High hanging punt, it'll hit and go into the end zone. And a flag flies, I believe some contact. Larson called for the fair catch.
I think Larson took a shot at one of the Wachusett guys, and I don't know if that's
so it may go on him.
Going to go against him.
Yep, it is. Yep, and that's what John Andrioli's telling him on the sideline. You could hear that. He said, when you make the fair catch, you can't do that.
So that's gonna push St. John's back half the distance. I don't know. It's obviously, you know, the officials have to keep this game under control, and they want to limit the chippiness here. And, you know, in the high school game, that's not allowed.
Murphy again will operate from the shotgun. He missed this game a year ago. He was injured. His first full season under center this year with St. John's. His father, David Murphy, a former quarterback at Holy Cross, 82 graduate. And his grandfather, a former captain of the 1942 Holy Cross team.
David Murphy, a big name at Holy Cross. A Hall of Fame defensive back that got inducted years back. And flowers were coming to the Murphy house, the other David Murphy, Griffin's dad. And they were accepting the flowers and thanking people for their well wishes.
They'll take the cookies, take the flowers. He said it wasn't
me. It's a
me.
Good story from Mr. Murphy earlier this year.
And John Andrioli and David Murphy were teammates at Holy Cross and good friends. Second down. Murphy firing out of his own end zone to Rodgers, complete. It'll be short of a first down, about 2 yards shy of the marker. But that's the first completion, Murphy to Rodgers today.
Yeah, and you know, it's a good kind of confidence building pass for Murphy to Rodgers. Good hands. Rodgers just goes up and makes that catch with his hands. There's Rodgers, his numbers, 12 receiving touchdowns.
You can stretch up there, and that's, you know, when a quarterback's pumped up early on, you'll see that ball sail high a little bit, and that might have been Murphy just being really keyed up for this game.
Oh,
Light's going to be stopped short of the first down.
What a surge.
Great defensive surge from Wachusett.
Looked like Gary White got in there again.
That's outstanding defense.
Here's
Matt
Light.
LeBlanc, too. Watch the quarterback, number 8. LeBlanc is in there.
LeBlanc and White, and this is one of the first opportunities for LeBlanc defensively. Mike Dobzinski said he was going to unleash LeBlanc. He's tried to protect him because he's their quarterback, but giving him the role on defense this week.
Rodgers punting from the 5-yard line. Line drive that hits at midfield. And Larson will down it for St. John's at the Wachusett 47-yard line. That's where the Mountaineers will take over on offense. So a very good punt.
I'm telling you, there is a little bit of a rivalry going right now between Richard Rodgers and Tyler Wiseman. Wiseman has hit him twice now, as soon as it turned in when he shifted from a blocker to a defender. And Rodgers went after him on the last series from his defensive position. So, you know, this game is filled with a little bit of
that's good
fire on both sides.
That's good. There should be that. Top two teams here squaring off. Who's the #1 team in Central Mass? Here's Pedoni. Pedoni stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
Now Tyler Pike, 64, doing a nice job in that middle. It's from Leicester, and of course, Tim Griffiths probably was saying, hey, Tyler, we need you here back in your hometown. He's doing a nice job here in the Pioneer Red.
6'1", 260. Griff would love to have a guy like that. He had 4 tackles last week, Pike did, against Severian. That's the end of the first quarter of play. It is Wachusett in front of St. John's, 7-0. Welcome back, everyone. Mike Dobzinski and the Wachusett Mountaineers right now up 7-0 on St. John's as we begin the second quarter. LeBlanc to throw, first of the day, fires over the middle to Pedoni, incomplete. And Pedoni took a wicked shot. Tim Wickstrom, well, that's the guy that's been hitting Rodgers, and he laid the lumber that time on Pedoni. He's a game captain.
Wickstrom doing a nice job getting in there, and that's a ball that Wachusett would like back. They don't throw a lot, but that a catchable ball and would have been first down yardage.
Wachusett 1 for 3 on third downs. Wickstrom is the leading tackler on this St. John's team.
Good ball delivered by LeBlanc, though, in traffic.
Very good. Remember, he's coming off an injury where his big toe was torn off of his foot and didn't get the go-ahead to really start working out and playing until June. Underwent surgery last September. Here's LeBlanc again. Has McMillan. McMillan has a first down. Down to the 40-yard line of St. John's. They're going to mark it at the 41. Again, not the forte maybe of Wachusett, but they also haven't had to show the passing game this year.
Well, that's and this is one of their roles where you can roll out the quarterback and bring McMillan across the field. He's got some space, picks up the first down. McMillan, a guy that the Wachusett staff really said has come into his own this year. And you're a guy playing with such talented running backs. McMillan's found his niche in this offense. Timeout taken by Wachusett.
Well, looking at some first quarter statistics rather, Wachusett 95 yards of total offense all on the ground. St. John's with 28 yards of offense, 8 through the air and 20 rushing. And the Mountaineers of Wachusett 1 for 3 on third down, 1 penalty for 15 yards. St. John's 0 for 4 on third down, no first downs in that first quarter for St. John's, and they had 1 penalty for 10 yards. So great job defensively from Wachusett in that first quarter. Again, Wachusett giving up fewer points than any other team in Division I, just over 8 points a game. First down for the Mountaineers. Here's Darko. Moore's in there on the stop. But Darko picking up 5 yards on first down. Wachusett will take that.
Well, so far, based on the numbers you're talking about and the way this game has gone, Wachusett has executed their game plan. Their offense has been on the football field. They've possessed the football. They haven't made any mistakes. And look at the physical. Darko able to run. He ran into 2 big guys and was able to still try to pick up another half a yard or so.
Yeah, he still was pumping forward. That's not easy to do with Pike on your back, who's 260, and Troy Moore, who's 285. There's Darko again. Oh, Darko bouncing to the left off a couple tackles, and then he just got labeled. He got drilled going forward, though, so he'll pick up a couple pick up a couple yards, and there's a face mask penalty.
A lot of contact. Yeah, took a face mask there, and then his own guy, Gary White hit him harder than anybody and pushed him forward for a few yards, but he's going to get the face mask penalty and a first down for Wachusett.
Well, they'll like that one on films. When Darko looks at White and says, "What are you doing? You drilled me." White, hey, everything's fair game. That's why you strap the helmet on tight.
Somebody comes into his space, he's going to hit him.
Doesn't matter what color jersey you're wearing. LeBlanc rolling out, dumps it underneath to McMillan. McMillan is hauled down. Tell you what, LeBlanc's doing a nice job rolling out to his left off of play action. They're getting that St. John's defense to come up. McMillan slipping out in the flat and getting open.
And I think LeBlanc actually gets his arm hit as he throws and still is able to deliver the football. And that's very close to a horse collar tackle, if not called. But a good chunk of yardage on first down. You know, again, 5 yards, and you keep plodding and keep moving forward. It's exactly what Wachusett wants to do. And it's a big time here for the St. John's defense to try to get a stop.
Mountaineers at the Pioneers' 18-yard line. And that time LeBlanc hands it off to Darko. Then he goes and finds someone to hit. That's the kind of game it's going to be here. Watch number 8, LeBlanc. After he hands it to Darko, he'll come back into your picture and he hits someone.
Oh, nice job. Pike and Candido on the outside, though, able to stop up that game. But yeah, that's exactly what type of game it is. Find somebody to hit.
Wachusett 2 for 4 on third downs. It is 3rd and 4. Padoni looking for room, looking for space, nothing there. And may have lost a half a yard on the play.
Well, Candido did a nice job again. He turned it in and did not let Padoni use his quickness to the corner. 35 in red at the top, fights off 2 blocks.
Wow.
And then turns the play back inside where the tackle could be made by Shane McGrail coming from the inside.
That's a great job from the senior Candido.
I'm sure Pat White will enjoy that, working with the outside linebackers, a guy they were talking about him in the field being a game changer in stopping that run. Candido made the nice play there.
33-yard field goal attempt for Connor McDavid. It is high, comes up short. Just got under it a little bit. He certainly has the leg strength because we've seen him boot him before from further out and in practice. Just got under that one a little bit.
Well, big sigh of relief on the near sideline as St. John's able to not allow any points there and maybe just try to chip that one up.
And now we'll see what the St. John's offense can do. Trailing by 7. Here's Griffin Murphy. Bob Bradley has worked with he and the offense extensively. Murphy carries, first carry of the day for Griffin Murphy. Murphy came into the day with 452 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. That's tops on the St. John's team.
Well, good job staying at home on the outside by Devereaux, and then some good pursuit in the middle of the field from Tyler Catalina. Catalina goes 6'4", 6'5" range and moves well. Timeout taken by St. John's. High school football on Charter TV3 is brought to you by Ahern Equipment, Star Scrap Metal, Berterra Nissan, Cantiani Insurance, Carl's Oxford Diner, Interstate Batteries, Poochie's, Unibank, and we thank our sponsors for high school football.
Well, there's Griffin Murphy, number 7. We talked about his father being a great football player. His grandfather as well. He has a cousin, Neil Murphy, who was an outstanding safety at Harvard. Griffin says he'd love to carry on that purple tradition and go and play for Holy Cross. His grandfather also fought in World War II. Here's Vassar. Hurdles a man at the line of scrimmage, but is brought down after a pickup of about 1. Casey Devereaux right there. The leader on this Wachusett team in sacks. Devereaux closing down the line to make the tackle.
Well, he was forced to leave his feet. And Ryan Bennett got in there as well. forced to leave his feet because it looked like in the middle that Wachusett had some pretty good push. Even Chad Matson.
3rd and 4 for St.
man.
John's. The Pioneers still looking for their first down of the game. Murphy looking at Rodgers, fires towards him, incomplete. Very well defended on that near sideline. And that was Nick Champlin. Champlin was right there in the hip pocket of Rodgers.
Yeah, and he had good interior position on Rodgers. Murphy throwing it back, trying to use the height of Rodgers, and so far, Wachusett's been able to keep the St. John's offense just off balance enough.
So now Rodgers will punt it, and again, Pedoni stands at his own 40. Rodgers has done a nice job of kicking away from Pedoni. He will do the same here. Hits and bounces. Pedoni gonna have to leave it alone. And St. John's will down it at the 36-yard line after a 38-yard punt. And that is where the Wachusett offense will take over with 5:49 remaining here in the first half, and the Mountaineers up 7-0.
And again, not allowing any real momentum and drives and first downs being picked up by the St. John's offense. And, you know, right now, Wachusett only up a score. This is a big drive for their offense. They can really kind of make a statement here towards the end of this first half.
Yeah, they'd certainly love some points. That field goal would have been huge.
Because they have really controlled the game, but they're only up 7 at this point.
They'll go to the ground on first down. And St. John's there defensively. They've moved Rodgers up by the line of scrimmage now for this game. Normally Rodgers is a free safety, but they've put him up on the line there as a defensive end.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where they can kind of mix him in different positions, and he does a nice job on his outside defensive end position to make that stop.
Well, the guy 6'4", 230, that athletic. Maryland has already offered him a scholarship for football, and he's just a junior. Double handoff, Pedoni on the scissors trap.
McGrail, wicked hit in the middle.
Wow.
Read it and well defended by St. John's. 53, Shane McGrail just comes shooting through, and Pike was on his hip pocket following him.
John Andreoli said McGrail, one of the most physical players they have on the team, coming in today with 43 tackles and 2 interceptions. He had 8 tackles against Fitchburg and 8 against Leominster. Comes up with a big one there. 3rd down and 12. LeBlanc to throw. 3-step drop, lets it fly, and it is incomplete.
Well, trying to test Matt Higgins over there, and Higgins one of the better cover guys and defensive backs that St. John's has, and he's step for step with the receiver. That's exactly what St. John's wants, though. They want to kind of drop that 3rd and long situation and force Wachusett to throw the football.
Higgs had 8 interceptions last year, has 3 this year. He was, I think when that ball was in the air, he was thinking, this one's mine. Now this is a big punt for Connor McDavitt. Trevor Larson stands at his own 30. If you're Wachusett, you want to pin him back. Larson catches it, doesn't like to fair catch the ball. It ducks a couple guys, and Larson is dropped at the 40-yard line. Great courage from Trevor Larson, who had a host of white jerseys bearing down on him.
Well, the last time he tried to fair catch it, he got a penalty. So the heck with that, Coach. I'm going to just take it and be a linebacker again and try to find his way through the middle of the field, and he's a tough kid. Good baseball player as well, Larson, out of Uxbridge.
29-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. 4:19 to play here in the first half. And this Wachusett defense has done a tremendous job so far today. They have not given up a first down. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Murphy will go from the shotgun. Troy Moore is the center. Murphy tried to follow Vassar, and Eric Darko blitzing off the edge makes the stop, and that'll be a loss of 2 on the play.
Now, nice job contained. Darko on the outside. Comes in, reads it, makes the play, and you know there wasn't a lot there in the middle of the field. Wachusett knows Murphy he's as equal a threat to run the football. I mean, he's had some big touchdown runs. Really broke out running the ball against Longmeadow earlier this year.
Worked hard in the offseason on his speed, too, his father said. And coaching staff here at St. John's says Griffin Murphy is always the last one out of the weight room. Works very hard off the field. Here's Murphy again. Murphy's got some space. He's got a first down and more. Inside Wachusett territory. Cuts it back, still on his feet, and brought down at the 31-yard line. Griffin Murphy with a 40-yard run.
That's exactly what you like. You know, if you don't succeed, you keep at it. And Murphy caught Wachusett on the other side. There was some space to this side. Murphy gets a good initial block and then just outruns his blocks. And then he becomes a fullback because here he goes. He's not gonna slide or take it out of bounds. He's gonna cut it back and take on tacklers.
That's that extra work he's done in the weight room too to make himself a lot more difficult to tackle. Here's Light. Light lowering his shoulder and plowing ahead for 5 yards. Big Dan Light.
Well, the passing game hasn't been there early in this one for St. John's, so they're going to the ground. And they're starting to mix it up with some physicality.
Yeah, John Andrioli said that he just runs like a bull. And you saw it right there. That's Matt LeBlanc making the tackle, too, for Wachusett, the quarterback playing in his first game defensively this season for the Mountaineers. 2nd down and 5. Murphy again, and White's right there to make the stop. Great penetration initially by Kyle Daigle, and then Gary White cleans it up.
It's going to force a timeout from St. John's.
We will take it alongside when we return. It'll be 3rd down and 6 for St. John's. They trail it by a touchdown. Well, the stingiest defense in Division I in Central Mass, Wachusett, has been flexing its muscle so far here today. A big 3rd down for St. John's. 3rd and 6 for the Pioneers.
Yeah, this the best offensive penetration St. John's has had. Of course, didn't have a first down until the Murphy run. And they have not converted on 3rd down yet, 0 for 5. The Pioneers.
St. John's student section in all black today as they cheer on their classmates. Tremendous crowd here ringing the stadium. Probably in 4-down territory for the Pioneers. Farraco goes in motion. Murphy rolls to his right, fires out there, and it is complete. And that's a first down. 2nd first down of the game for St. John's. Dan Light on the receiving end. It'll bring up 1st and goal.
A good little sling out pass as Light was able to carve out a little bit of space on the outside little out. And it's a big throw from Murphy.
That time they put Murphy for the first time too, rolling him out. He's been staying there in the pocket for the most part today. 4 wide receiver set. Murphy going to the end zone for Rodgers. Tipped and incomplete. Tremendous defense from Garrett Ambrosino. And Ambrosino just followed that ball the whole time. He turned his head around, found the ball. He's a great basketball player, and you see the timing there and the good leaping ability.
Well, Rodgers, with all the touchdowns, he scores a lot on these little fade routes. And this time runs out of room on the outside. Ambrosino, well timed.
2nd and goal from the 9 for St. John's. Wachusett in front, 7-0. Murphy to throw to the end zone, complete for Rodgers and the touchdown. And St. John's is on the board. It's a 1-point ball game.
Now that time they just changed it up. Instead of the fade, they brought him inside. He got the interior position on the little slant and got in just enough for the touchdown.
Well, 6'4", 230. you have a lot of options. If it doesn't work, that jump ball, you can do that quick slant. And there are very few physically that are going to be able to muscle Rodgers off the ball. Rodgers for the point after. It is up and through, and we are all tied up 7 apiece with 1:23 to play here in the first half.
Well, this drive, again, set up by the feet of Griffin Murphy, and then he just delivers a strike. And Rodgers able to just fight his way in with a little spin for the touchdown.
Saw Chris Martino, number 62, the left tackle for St. John's, making a nice block to give Murphy a lane to throw. This is his 4th game as a starter. Martino, noted for his pass blocking.
One of those Leominster guys, I believe, playing for John Andreoli's team. Usually has a couple good ones.
Yeah, they've had some pretty good success up in the North County.
North County. Well, so here you go. I mean, St. John's puts a drive together. We are all even on the scoreboard. Wachusett has had a little bit more success, you'd think, for most of the half, but we're even.
That drive, 70 plays, covering 60 yards, took 2 minutes and 58 seconds off the clock. And it ends in a Murphy to Rodgers touchdown pass. The 21st touchdown pass of the season for Griffin Murphy. Now, Matt Pedoni, such a dangerous weapon back there. It is Darko who takes it on a line. Darko's across the 30, spins out to the 35-yard line. 17 yards on the return from Eric Darko. And Wachusett will have 1:14 to work with.
Well, there's time, but you wonder, what you're going to do here in the last minute 14 rather. See if you can kind of wrestle back that momentum, get some positive things going into the locker room or into the half.
LeBlanc's had some success rolling to his left. They hand it to Pedoni on first down, and Pedoni is stacked up at the line of scrimmage, may have lost a half yard on the play.
And if you're St. John's, that's where you want to keep Pedoni and the running backs. You want to try to keep him between the tackles and let the big guys chase him around in there.
Mike Dubzinski watching this clock tick down. Under a minute to play here in the first half. I think they might hand this ball off again, and you hope for something to pop big on the ground, but one thing you don't want to do is a turnover here. Here's Pedoni. Out in space, he's so tough out in space, so dangerous. Picks up a first down for Wachusett. He's out to the 48-yard line, and now the Mountaineers will take a timeout.
Yeah, now they're in that part of the field where you get a first down, take the timeout and see if you can make something happen.
Troy Moore was slow to get up for St. John's.
Try to gather that momentum back just a little bit. I think Wachusett overall in this first half really has to be pleased with the way their team has played. The one knock is that they've only been able to get 7 points up on the board with all the momentum they've had. I want to remind you, at the conclusion of this game, we will have the Direct Air Players of the Game. Direct Air, the Community Air Service of Worcester, presents 2 round-trip tickets in the name of the player to their respective school. Direct Air now flying nonstop to Myrtle Beach and to Florida out of Worcester Regional Airport.
So 31 seconds remaining here in the first half. Wachusett takes the timeout. They are at their own 48-yard line. We're all tied up, 7 apiece. Troy Moore coming off the field, though. That is not a good sign for St. John's. Moore is a two-way starter. He is looking at UMass, UNH, the football championship subdivision, and he is an absolute beast up front. LeBlanc to throw, going deep. Incomplete, intended for Connor McDavitt, off his fingertips. Great ball from Matt LeBlanc. And that time you take your fastest guy, Connor McDavitt, and send him on a fly route, and LeBlanc put it right down there.
Yeah, he delivered it. That was a nice ball from LeBlanc, and the speed of McDavitt with Higgins just had a step. That's a heck of a throw from the quarterback. And you get a good sense of the speed of McDavitt.
24 seconds remaining now. Second down and 10. That may loosen up the defense a little bit too. Higgins is about 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. LeBlanc under pressure. Rodgers has him. He dumps it off to Padoni as he's going down. Padoni's got a first down and more. And Padoni's brought down at the 39-yard line. Remember, Connor McDavid's got a great leg too. That is tremendous presence by LeBlanc as he's being hauled down. Oh, that's the half. So we had shown 12 seconds up on the clock. The officials say that is it. That's the end of the first half of play.
Ridiculous play.
Number 1 and number 2 going toe-to-toe, and we're tied up at 7 apiece.
Oh, boy.
All right, your halftime statistics. See, Wachusett with 111 yards rushing. St. John's was 68. 28 for Wachusett, 27 through the air for St. John's. Would you believe that Wachusett would have more yardage passing than St. John's through one half of play? More total yards as well, 139 to 95. First downs, Wachusett with 5, St. John's with 2. We are tied on the scoreboard at 7 apiece. No turnovers, and that Wachusett defense has played very well.
Yeah, no big mistakes. Wachusett's kind of executed their game plan on offense. They've run the football. Here's a look. The Patriot League scoreboard, Holy Cross and Lehigh tied at 17.
Not what we want.
In the third quarter. Of course, big one next week on Charter TV3 with Holy Cross.
If Holy Cross wins today, next week could clinch them a Patriot League title, the first one since 1991. That would be a 12:30 kickoff. Troy Moore, though, the standout two-way tackle for St. John's, was on the bench the entire half being looked at by the doctors, so we'll have to see about his availability. Takes a high hop over Darko's head. Padoni lets it roll out of bounds.
Fortunate that they got it to roll out as it took that high hop over Darko, and now Wachusett will get a re-kick is what it sounds like they want on the far side. Push St. John's back a little bit. Was close down there, that high hop on that last part of the squib kick. Anthony Souffrant, number 40, was close to St. John's defender. There's Troy Moore.
Troy Moore, number 65, with Mark Ide.
Mark Ide captured on tape, rarely captured on tape.
Yep, the ghost. That's the ghost, Mark Ide. Troy Moore had 10 tackles against Shrewsbury this year. He's 44 overall, 4 sacks and 4 fumble recoveries. So Troy Moore is always all over the football. And that would be a very big loss. But the fact that he's standing on the sideline, he may be back into the game. Rodgers will kick it off. It's the squib kick. A high bounce. Larson down there trying to make a tackle. And a big stick.
Will Farraco.
Dennis Machugu was the man returning it for Wachusett, and Farraco lit him up.
Farraco got some leverage on the big hit at the end. Another squibber type kick and some dangerous bounces. So Wachusett gets the ball on the 27-yard line. Not sure they picked up a little bit of field position after the penalty.
Moore is back in the game for St. John's. LeBlanc under center for Wachusett. Here's Darko on first down, gets a good kick out block. Darko's got a first down and more. And Darko's finally hauled down at the 46-yard line. Great run from Eric Darko.
Tim Wickstrom saved the touchdown because Darko was getting free. Good block in the interior part of the football field. Darko fighting through, stiff arm, and Wickstrom able to hang on.
Tom Long, the left guard, was the man who had the kick-out block.
This is such a critical drive. First possession of the second half. If Wachusett can march and get points, and they can take this momentum back and put it on the hands of their defense.
And here's LeBlanc. May have been a mix-up in the backfield. LeBlanc is dropped by Rodgers and company. Did a good job just to hold on to the football.
Yeah, I think there was maybe a miscue because Padoni just kind of looked back and didn't have really an assignment. And a nice job by St. John's to recognize where the football is, and Richard Rodgers all over it.
Long, that left guard that made the good kick-out block for Darko. His older brother played. John was a member of 2 Super Bowl championship teams at Wachusett, then played at Union. His parents, both Wachusett graduates. Just a great Wachusett family. His sister was a great athlete at Wachusett. LeBlanc to throw, rolling to his left. Fires underneath to McMillan, the leading receiver for Wachusett this game, has another first down for the Mountaineers.
Well, they went to it earlier for a first down. They get it again. Fake the give to Darko, and just good job from LeBlanc. He's throwing some good balls out there, and he hits McMillan. Was able to run about an 8-yard pattern and then find the out, and then turns upfield for the first down.
LeBlanc doing a nice job, too, of patiently waiting for his receiver to get through the wash of defenders.
Be very easy to jump that throw a little bit with the big boys chasing you down.
First down, Darko the carry, and he is dropped at the line of scrimmage. Sean Burlinson, he fills the alley according to John Andrioli, runs very well to the football, comes up with a tackle there.
Yeah, they like him as a blitzer as well, and Burlinson comes up on the run here. The junior, that's just a good form tackle right there.
Transfer from
Taking
Worcester
out the
Tech.
legs.
There's John Andrioli, coaches the inside linebackers here at St. John's, in addition to his head coaching duties. Burlinson's a guy that had a high ankle sprain in the preseason, missed the first 2 games, but has come on well. 5 tackles last week against the Varians, 7 against the Prep. LeBlanc to throw, rolling to his left again. Eludes Rodgers. LeBlanc's going to tuck it and run. And LeBlanc picks up 4 yards.
Yeah, I think they're going to give him forward possession for at least 4 to 5 yards. And you know, this time LeBlanc didn't have it downfield. He tucks it back, and Rodgers went too high on him. Tried to make one of those highlight reel tackles up high, and LeBlanc too strong for that. He's able to just fight through it, pick up a few yards. Got a little bit extra bit of a block from Canario, and then gets trilled by Troy Moore.
Troy Moore well, he started the season at 285. He's down now about probably 265. But he just brought all of that and then some. 3rd and 5. Pedoni on the toss sweep. Cuts back to the inside. Pedoni has a first down. Brought down at the 30-yard line. And Matt Pedoni, his legs are always moving, and they always seem to be going forward.
Well, here's back to the shiftiness, so you can just cut it back on a dime. And McGrill does a nice job to come back and get him. But it's a first down for Wachusett, and the train is starting to roll a little bit.
If you're Wachusett, this is exactly what you want on the opening drive. A long ball control drive where you're moving the football, and now you've just got to get points at the end of it. Darko on the power. Nothing doing this time. Good job by St. John's coming up, taking on that kick-out block.
Yeah, St. John's
play right inside.
They did. They got some good hitting from their ends. And we're able to just turn the momentum back. It was Light, number 12. And then Pike coming back from his tackle position to lead the charge on the tackle.
Pike has a fumble recovery this year, in addition to going with 5 sacks. So he's a guy that is often in the backfield. Pedoni trying the other side. Pedoni just swimming forward. Somehow he gets yardage out there. You see so many red jerseys in there, and Pedoni just finds that little seam of daylight.
Yeah, you got to be a little bit fearless, because he's just kind of in there and just kind of, you know, excuse me, I'm just going to kind of take a few yards here and picking up some extra yards. Candido coming over. I mean, it's almost like he's just kind of just skating by people in there.
It's like a salmon trying to swim upstream. Just weaving his way through the defense. With that last rush, Pedoni has gone over the century mark. 9 carries for 101 yards today for Matt Pedoni. Quarterback sneak, and LeBlanc had the first down, but a flag flies, so this will be on the offense, and it'll move him back 5 yards.
Now they had the right call, and they just couldn't get it set. Blank saw something up the middle, and be a procedure penalty to move him back to be a 3rd and 10 situation.
Coming up, this will be the 9th play of the drive. But that penalty certainly hurts. Now you're looking at 3rd and 9 on the 28-yard line of St. John's. LeBlanc has Tarko in the backfield. LeBlanc to throw, and Rodgers got up and got a hand on it. Rodgers read that play, dropped back a step, and just read the quarterback's eyes. When LeBlanc went to throw it, he went up and got the big hands up there and got an arm on it.
Yeah, you did a nice job. There's your athleticism. Able to get in. Looked like they were looking for Ambrosino down there. Nice big play from Rodgers. And now Wachusett, decision time on 4th down. Looking to go. Keep this drive going.
LeBlanc's going to operate from the shotgun. First time tonight he's gone from the shotgun. And the handoff to Pedoni, and Troy Moore is right there to snuff it out. And the St. John's defense holds on 4th down, and the Pioneers will take over.
Well, not fooled. Troy Moore, as Wachusett tried to spread it out and sneak Pedoni through the middle. And Moore just shot through. And St. John's, credit their front four. They really were not fooled on this. They held their ground and will attack the run.
You talk about athletic families, the Moore family, Troy's older brothers. Jimmy Moore was a great basketball player at Holy Name. Josh Moore was a quarterback for the Holy Name football team. Great pitcher in the baseball team, went to UConn. And Jeff Moore was a standout football lacrosse player here at St. John's. Here's Vassar. Vassar trying to turn the corner.
Yeah, you got it, Champ. You got it.
Throwing the stiff arm out there. Well defended by Champlin.
Wow, nice job by Champlin to get his speed to the outside, because, you know, good block initially forces out the defensive end, and Vassar just can't turn the corner because Champlin and later Bates coming up on help. We're there. Good speed from Wachusett's defense.
Champlin just a junior. Big game for him, and so far everyone on that Wachusett defense has played exceptionally well. Murphy to throw, going deep for Farraco, incomplete. And again, that time the defender was Nick Champlin.
Oh, this is just a straight drop time to throw for Murphy. And Farraco may have gotten tangled up a little bit with the defender, and that just disturbed the route enough.
Farraco's bread and butter usually is those quick slants over the middle, and he is such a great possession receiver. He's fearless. I saw him catch one over the middle against Shrewsbury, where he just got drilled and knew he was going to get hit and hung on to the football. Led to a touchdown for St. John's. Murphy throws incomplete, intended for Rodgers. It was behind him and high.
Well, he's only been able to hit really one of those outs to Rodgers.
Ambrosino in coverage. And Garrett Ambrosino has, when they have put him on man coverage of Richard Rodgers, he's done a tremendous job tonight.
Griffin Murphy, one of the guys on both sides that didn't take the SATs this morning. He might, you know, there might still be like geometry shapes floating around. I know that's what it would be for me.
Not a fun day. Rodgers gets the punt away, flag flies. He was hit afterwards. And now another flag flies. Well, we'll see what happens.
I think they're going to get him for roughing the punter.
It's a 43-yard punt, but again, the flag flew first when Rodgers was hit and went down, then another flag flies down near the end of that ball. We'll see if it's a roughing or running into. Personal foul.
Now both penalties are against Wachusett, but they're going to get the ball back no matter what. Let's get a look at this.
Well, once he's exposed, you can't, you know, anytime you touch a kicker when they're exposed, they're always going to throw the flag. That's what it is right there. You had the leg still up in the air on one leg.
Now there's going to be both sides of the argument any time on a play like that, but the bottom line is the referees called it, and it's a first down for St. John's.
So that's a 15-yard penalty, so it's a first down for St. John's. Keeps their drive alive. And Wachusett's going to have to call on their defense once again.
You get the sense that this game is just one big play away. And will it be the Wachusett defense that makes that play or the St. John's offense?
Murphy will go from the shotgun. Murphy flushed out of the pocket, and Murphy's going to be dropped for a loss. And that one is going to go for a 9-yard loss.
Just a great job. Madison and Daigle it was Daigle that forced him outside. Madison comes up, and he's going to get the. He'll be one of the guys in on the sack. Devereaux got onto that end as well, but Madison with the stop.
Madison, one of those guys, a hard worker. Mike Dobzinski said he's one of those guys that has just waited his turn. Always had older guys in front of him. This year is his time, and he has made the most of the opportunity. 2nd and 18 now. Devereaux going from the 2-point stance on the near side. He leads the team in sacks, and he was coming.
I think St. John's, they got a timeout in right before that snap. Probably saw something, Chris Moriarty, on the near sideline, that his offense was taking a little bit too much time to kind of read the defense. You know, Johnny Andreoli says a lot of times is the receivers will go out and they'll kind of read what the defense is going to give them, and then you'll get Griffin Murphy doing the same. And that time, I think there was a little bit of too much time being taken by the St. John's offense.
4:26 to play here in the third quarter. Tied up at 7 apiece. Murphy looking to the right. Tipped at the line of scrimmage. It was intended for Farraco. Someone got a hand on it up at the line of scrimmage and knocked it away.
Well, big bodies there. Catalina, one of them for Wachusett. Kind of collapsing that pocket and a quick throw from Murphy. Might have been Catalina who got his hands on it. But you know, Wachusett coming in on the pass rush, 4 guys, and all of them getting their hands up when they see the quarterback throw the football, and they knock it away.
St. John's 1 for 7 on third down conversions. 3rd and 18. Murphy with time fires over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Farraco and threw it behind him. Murphy has yet to find his rhythm in this game. Credit that Wachusett defense, because you get those momentum shifts. You get a roughing the kicker penalty, and now the momentum is back with the offense. They get new life, and defensively the Mountaineers just bowed up.
That's a big stand, and I'll tell you, in pass defense, Wachusett's been outstanding this afternoon.
Rodgers will punt from his own 25-yard line. Pedoni has yet to return one in this game, and Rodgers has done a nice job of kicking away from the very dangerous Matt Pedoni. It's marked out of bounds at the 22-yard line, and that's where the Wachusett offense will take over after a 39-yard punt.
Here's a look at the Mountaineers so far. 8-0, 3-0 in the conference. They started with a win against Doherty, and blank St. Peter Marion, and that's some impressive victories. Leominster 37-7 up in Leominster. And then last week, Fitchburg, a 41-0 win for Wachusett.
So now Matt LeBlanc will lead his offense up. Pedoni on first down. Pedoni dropped for a loss.
Well, Candido's really asserted himself over there defensively, 35. In the last couple series, Pat White was talking to him in the pregame, saying nobody's going to run at you and trying to challenge him, and he's come up and answered that challenge for the most part here.
So that one, the loss of a couple yards, brings Pedoni back under 100 yards now. Maybe he'll pick it up now. He's going to be back over 100 here after this rush. First down and more. And Pedoni's still on his feet across midfield and dragged down at the 48-yard line of St. John's.
You couldn't tell if he was still running or if it was just a pile running, because everybody just kept advancing forward and Pedoni just kept finding room to run. Gets to the outside, gets a good block. Looked like Tom Long got another block on the outside. And then Pedoni just keeps running. No, the play's not done. He's still running along. He's fooling everybody.
31 yards on the run from Pedoni. And that's a touchdown-saving tackle from Candido. Under 3 to play here in the third quarter. The fullback, White, up the middle. And he picks up 5 yards on first down. This is the recipe. This is what Wachusett said they had to do. Control the clock, control time of possession, and run the ball effectively.
And now, as you get it into St. John's territory again, it's finishing the drive. That is the challenge for Wachusett. They've been able to possess the football and control it with their offense. But the score even right now. They finish a drive here, they can really take a lot out of St. John's.
LeBlanc hands it off to Darko, and Darko is stuck and dropped for a loss. Loss of 1 on the play. Light was there, Moore was there.
Yeah, and every time Wachusett looks like they start getting running, Dan Light comes up and makes another big play, and Moore in the interior of this defense just coming through, and Moore got around his block, and Light was right there at home, staying at home to make the tackle.
Darko, 10 carries for 35 yards. Big Troy Moore, number 65 in the middle. Said the memory of last year's game drove him in the offseason. He remembered how mad he was and how mad he was for the seniors. He said he wanted to win that game last year for the seniors so badly. Wachusett winning by a touchdown last year in a great game up at Wachusett High School.
Now Pedoni got a block from White on the outside, but he's short of a first down. Gary White gives him a shot. Look at the St. John's defense pursuing. And Higgins came up from his defensive back position to make that stop. So 4th and a long 2 here.
Let's go. Let's go. Defense, gotta go back to work.
4th down and 3. It sounds like they're going to punt.
They're going to send their punt team out. Heard Mike Dubzinski there. McDavitt's going to try to pin him back.
Rodgers is back deep to receive for St. John's. McDavitt stands at his own 45. Booms it. Rodgers calls for the fair catch. And it bounces into the end zone. Good job of selling that by Rodgers. Called for the fair catch and then pretended like he was catching the football. I think what Wachusett's saying is he got in the way of one of their men going downfield.
They were also talking about St. John's having 12 men on the field. I didn't see it.
Oh, that's what it is.
I didn't see it. I counted 11, but I may be off. I was doing it quickly. Mike Dubzinski was doing the math over there on the far sideline.
So Griffin Murphy will come back onto the field with the St. John's offense. And that'll end the third quarter of play. 1 quarter to go. Number 1 St. John's 7, number 2 Wachusett 7. Well, the sun is fading fast. 11 minutes to play in this game, maybe. Of course, we do have overtime if we need it. We might have to turn on some of the headlights of the cars parked around the stadium if we do get that far. Opening drive of the fourth quarter. St. John's will have the ball. Murphy throws it out to Light. Light dropped by Darko. Good play call from St. John's, and Chris Moriarty trying to get Griffin Murphy into a rhythm.
Yeah, a little high percentage game. Light with a quick little block and then gets out into the flat. Darko, nice job, one-on-one tackle.
Stats through 3 quarters of play. They're flip-flopped over there. Matt Pedoni has 100 yards by himself, well over 100 rushing himself. This Wachusett team, 207 yards of total offense through 3 quarters, 180 on the ground. And Wachusett, or rather St. John's, 103 yards of total offense through 3 quarters, and credit that Wachusett defense for that.
Well, Wachusett doing a nice job in the middle. Bennett and company getting in the middle of the field to make it 3rd and short here.
It's Light on 3rd down, and Light has the 1st down. Light just running downhill. He's a tall kid at 6'3", but he gets those shoulders down and just keeps pushing.
Yeah, just driving. Gary White trying to corral him, but the momentum too much. It's a 1st down for St. John's.
Who would have thought this? Through 3 quarters of play, Wachusett with 43 yards passing, St. John's with 27, so the Mountaineers with more passing yards than the Pioneers. First down for St. John's, so they go back to the 4 wide receiver set. Vassar gets the call. Vassar held up at the line of scrimmage, then dropped. Gary White was the man who I think originally had him at the line of scrimmage and really slowed him up.
Well, Vassar, a strong kid, keeps the legs churning. Gets outside of White, and then good attack. Coming up, I think it was Champlin, maybe number 20, yep. Came up, make that tackle. Limit the gain, it's only a yard.
2nd down and 9. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Flag goes. Wachusett jumped.
They blew it dead.
Yeah, they blew it dead. Right away, they blew it dead.
Now, if it's offsides, I mean, unless they thought there was some contact made, maybe there was contact made. It is offsides against Wachusett. Could have been a free play, but the whistles blew right away.
So it'll be a 5-yard penalty, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 4. It was coming from you can't see it from there. It was the top of the screen. You're looking at 73, but it was a guy way down the end of the line of scrimmage.
No, there were 2 guys at least
who was jumping.
That were off.
So the Wachusett coaches imploring their defense on, looking for another big stop here. 2nd and 4. Vassar trying to get to the outside, turns the corner, flag goes down. Vassar has a 1st down, but this will come back. A holding call against St. John's. Matt LeBlanc, the man who made the tackle for Wachusett.
Well, Vassar's able to get to the outside, but he gets some help because there was a hold on the outside. Maybe even a block in the back as well. There's the hold. That pushes this one back, so now you're looking at 2nd and long.
See what Chris Moriarty has in his bag of tricks now. The offensive coordinator for St. John's. Light gets the call, and Light is stacked up after a short gain. Well defended by Wachusett.
Well, one of the things Wachusett wanted to do coming into this game was disguise their looks, disguise their coverage. Their defense is shifting around a lot, you know, before Griffin Murphy can snap the football. So they're giving Murphy some things to think about, and then they just come up and defend the run well. Catalina at the bottom of the pile, and White, Gary White's been in on just about every action on the defensive side.
Light has 9 carries for 25 yards. 3rd down and 12. Both sides of the stadium coming to life. Murphy from the shotgun. And let's see. Whistle blows it dead. Procedure. So it'll be 5 yards back against St. John's. It'll be 3rd and 17 now for the Pioneers. A long way to go.
Well, a lot of noise. Big crowd here. Both both schools bringing out their fans, and that just little hitch right there, I think, is your penalty on the outside part of your screen.
Both teams with 4 penalties for 40 yards. Chris Moriarty, the offensive coordinator, and his wife expecting a son in January. Want to congratulate them. Let's see what the father-to-be has in store here on the offensive call. Murphy going deep for Light, has him out there, incomplete. Just over the outstretched arm of Dan Light.
Well, good defense, because Bates kind of took him off his route, and Light couldn't continue down the center of the field, and that just enough to get him over the top. Wachusett had Rodgers double covered down in the bottom part. Darko checking him at the line.
Murphy 4 of 15 for 34 yards. The Wachusett defense has been right on today. Both in the secondary and getting a rush up front. Rodgers hammers it. Pedoni at his own 40. Trying to get some space.
He's got to get upfield.
And he's going to be dropped at the 30-yard line.
Lost about 9 yards trying to get back up the field. Good job by St. John's to contain him.
That's just staying in your lane on the coverage. Sean Wilson, one of those players for St. John's down there, just a sophomore. 41-yard punt, -9 on the return.
Oh, nice job. You know, Pedoni, if he can get outside and create, he can really be dangerous. But St. John's just, they were there. Assignment all the way down, filling lanes and making the play.
LeBlanc 4 of 9 for 43 yards through the air. Matt LeBlanc has played very well today. Come up with big throws when he needed them. Darko now goes split out. Pedoni gets the handoff. Cuts it back, gains a couple on first down.
Now, nice job, St. John's, forcing the play back in. Pedoni had nowhere to turn. The hole's closed up.
The shadows are getting long here at Pioneer Field. 6:05 to play in the game. We are tied up at 7 apiece. Number 1 and number 2. LeBlanc going to follow Darko through the hole and picked up about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 on the play.
Yep, fake the give to Darko, and LeBlanc tried to keep it. St. John's defense doing a nice job of just recognizing where the football is and getting around the ball carrier quickly. 5 guys to the football there.
Wachusett 3 for 9 on 3rd down conversions. It'll be 3rd and 6 for the Mountaineers from their own 35. They'll call a timeout. Matt LeBlanc over there.
They're going to stretch this clock all the way down and call a timeout.
Wally Massey down there. One of the great
High
guys in this game.
Football on Charter TV3 is presented by Bay State Savings Bank, by Percy's, by Loan USA, and by Direct Air, the community air service of Worcester, flying nonstop to Myrtle Beach in Florida out of Worcester Regional Airport.
Here's Matt LeBlanc coming back out onto the field for Wachusett. 215-pound senior, only threw 1 pass last week in that Fitchburg game. He was 1 for 1. But he's done a great job. Watches a lot of film with Kevin Massey.
Dan Brunell is imploring the St. John's sideline to get off their, get on their feet.
Pedoni gets the call. Pedoni has the first down. And Pedoni got a great alley to run. The offensive line for Wachusett got a tremendous push, and Pedoni just riding the wave.
Just good blocks. Everybody's on a man out there on the corner, and Pedoni's able to cut back inside and pick up a first down.
12 yards on the run for Pedoni. He makes his decision quick, and he gets north and south in a hurry.
He's been the real dangerous guy out there for Wachusett on that three-headed monster backfield.
147 yards rushing for Pedoni on just 15 carries. Here's Darko. And Darko will pick up 3.5 on first down.
Well,
and this is the time, too, where that depth they have may start to show.
You know, Gary White leads out with a block. Darko's able to pick up about 4 yards, and now you're looking at 4 minutes and ticking down here. Wachusett just wants to keep this ball until the game is over, and if they keep moving the football, they'll be in position to at least kick it or try to score for the win.
And they do have a tremendous kicker, Connor McDavitt. Pedoni on the sweep, has White out in front of him. White gets a good block. Pedoni's got a first down. Rodgers with the tackle at the St. John's 36-yard line. It'll be another Wachusett first down, a 15-yard gain.
Well, White, and it was Champlin coming in motion who got some blocks on the exterior as well. Number 20 kind of leading you out a little bit, and there's Pedoni picking up another first down. The clock continues to wind.
Pedoni protecting the football, too, at the end of that run.
This game is really run into the plans for Wachusett, and if they're able to get a win, the plan will have worked.
Pedoni's averaging 10 yards a carry. Here's LeBlanc on the bootleg. And LeBlanc is buried at the line of scrimmage. I like the call. You figure everyone's got to be flowing to Pedoni now with the success he's had. They try to get the defense going that way and get big Matt LeBlanc out there running.
Well, Tyler Pike, again, 64. Following the quarterback and making the stop.
Mike Hogan, one of the linebackers, stepping up as well at the point of attack. Second down, 2 minutes and 30 seconds to play. We're tied at 7. Pedoni cuts back. Pedoni would be very close to a first down. See where it's spotted. I believe Matt Pedoni has another Wachusett first down. Every time they need a big run, Pedoni comes through.
Where is he? Pedoni just firing through the hole. And another first down. Pedoni continues his big game.
9th play of the drive coming up. First down for Wachusett at the St. John's 25-yard line. 2:10 to play. Will we have a new #1 team in the area? McMillan gets the call.
Timeout taken on the near side. Looks like they're going to try to take it. Looks like St. John's is going to try to save a little bit of clock here. Well, that's the 2-minute warning that they've been warned on.
The game clock on the scoreboard showing 1:55 remaining. We'll see Connor McDavitt is bringing the play in for Wachusett. Remember McDavitt near the end of the half ran that streak route and almost connected for a big play.
Yeah, you know, the play action could be there with all the runs.
It's Darko, straight power football. And Darko met after a 1-yard gain.
St. John's is going to take a timeout. They're right now trying to conserve the clock should Wachusett go in for a score. Darko couldn't get through the blocks. Will Ferracco there, Pike there. 64 Pike has played a monster game on the defensive line.
He's been everywhere.
He's been
everywhere the
outstanding.
football's been, Pike has been. We're going to bring you some AHL hockey live this coming Wednesday. The Sharks and the Lowell Devils. We will be live from the DCU Center at 1 in the afternoon, and we'll replay that game at 7 o'clock on Wednesday night. The Sharks just continuing to win no matter how many guys get called up to San Jose.
9 rounds of a shootout on Friday night.
And they beat Manchester, the team in first place in the Atlantic Division. Well, there's the offensive line for Wachusett. They'll be called upon one more time to come up with some big blocks with 1:47 to play. 3rd and 5 from the St. John's 20. They're within McDavid's range. At the 20, you're looking at a 37-yard field goal. And Wachusett 4 of 10 on 3rd down conversions. The Mountaineers with 13 first downs to St. John's is 4 total for the game. Pedoni on the sweep. Has the outside, has a first down and more. Pedoni goes in for the touchdown.
My goodness.
Wachusett with a 13-7 lead. Somehow Pedoni stayed on his feet and stayed in bounds. Wachusett would have taken a first down. Pedoni gives him a touchdown.
Oh, incredible. Looked like they were like 18 of the 22 jerseys on the field over in that part, and Pedoni's able to scoot through. Wow.
Now you'll get the point after. Connor McDavitt lines up for the point after. McDavitt's kick, flag's gonna fly. McDavitt's kick is up and through. And they'll assess this penalty, I believe, on the kickoff.
Yeah, and that's
not that McDavitt really needs it, but he'll put this one through the end zone after the penalty's assessed.
That's definitely going to lead to a touchback, you would think. Personal foul on attacking the kicker. Let's see where Pedoni gets some space. Darko, McMillan with a big block. Now he gets shot back, but he takes that tackler out. And then the spin move by Pedoni. He gets a late block from Wiseman, and Pedoni goes flying into the end zone. Wow, talk about talent and shiftiness of the back.
2 third down conversions for Wachusett on that drive. It was an 11-play drive covering 70 yards. Took 4 minutes and 55 seconds off the clock. And it ends with Matt Pedoni's touchdown run as he spins through a tackle and sprints into the land of 6.
And Troy Moore got hit twice by Goodile and then later by Wiseman. And just a nice job of going after the big guys in the middle. And Pedoni's able to finish the drive.
Rodgers and Vassar back deep for St. John's. Connor McDavitt will tee it up at the St. John's 45-yard line. If he wants to, he'll put this one through the uprights.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He could put this through the uprights from here.
Minute 39 to play. The kick is a long one.
Oh, yeah. That'd be an extra point in Australian rules football right there.
McDavitt crushes it. And so St. John's will come out and operate from their own 20-yard line.
Look at this kick. Holy cow. Through the uprights. And now here's where the spread and the 4 or 5 receiver set comes in. You can move the ball. The problem is Wachusett's defense has done a great job in defending the spread all game. So St. John's is really going to have to try to show something that Wachusett hasn't seen here yet to try to break through.
Minute 44 to play. Murphy from the shotgun. Fires, hit as he throws, caught by Rodgers and out of bounds, and that'll stop the clock. Rodgers out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
Well timed, and he gets Rodgers, and the second little out that he's hit Rodgers on for about 9 yards. And Wachusett, I think, will give those up at the beginning of this drive anyway. They don't want to give up the big play.
Rodgers 3 catches for 25 yards today. He has been held in check, as has this entire St. John's offense. Murphy looking at Rodgers, going deep for him. Incomplete. It was intended for Ferracco down the sideline. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Well, 2-3 white jerseys around the ball. Not making any mistakes penalty-wise. You know, Mike Dubzinski talked about it with us this week. You almost have to be perfect on every play defensively against this offense.
So far, this Wachusett defense has been that. Here's Vassar trying to get the first down. Does have the first down. He's out to the 35-yard line. See if St. John's calls for a timeout or not.
Now they're going to move the sticks and reset. St. John's is going to get right back up on the football field.
Clock begins to run, 1:20 and counting. St. John's needs a touchdown. Murphy to throw. Complete. Domain with his first catch of the day. It's a first down. Christian Domain, one of the clutch receivers on this team, had a great game against Zavarian last week.
Standing in, Murphy's starting to find some targets, but nobody getting beat deep. And Wachusett, as St. John's will take a timeout, Wachusett getting guys around the football, and 9-10 yard game so far. 1:08 left on the clock.
Domain coming in with 18 catches for 328 yards and 4 touchdowns, averaging 18 yards a catch. He picked up 10 on that one. Third out of 5 timeouts taken for St. John's, so they have 2 more. 1:08 remaining on the clock. They're at their own 46. Murphy going for Rodgers, picked off. It is intercepted. B.J. Foley, whose older brother went to St. John's, comes up with the interception on the deflection.
Wow, what a play. It was kept alive by Griffin Murphy, able to roll out, and then he has Rodgers, and Rodgers just not able to haul it in. And Rodgers, who's caught so many balls off deflections, this time the deflection goes the other way, and it goes to Wachusett, and Foley stays with the play, and that went from a huge play possibility for St. John's to the game changer for Wachusett.
Great concentration from Foley. Boy, too, with an older brother that went to St. John's, and he comes up with the definitive play here in this one.
Wow, what a play. And again, just near perfect on defense all game.
See, Mike Dobzinski's got his own clock down there, taking no chances today. St. John's has 2 timeouts remaining. So they'll be able to stop the clock after first down, after second down if they hold. The clock showing 1 minute even remaining. So even with a 3 and out, there would be very little time remaining. 1 first down and it's over.
Well, the far sideline imploring their team to take care of the football and be disciplined.
Pedoni, 18 carries today, 193 yards and 2 touchdowns. He shouldn't pay for a pizza in the town of Holden or Rutland for the rest of the year. LeBlanc takes a knee. St. John's calls their 4th timeout, so they can stop the clock once more.
Now this was a program win for Wachusett last year, and it's a big win this year because it puts them in the driver's seat in Division I.
They will be the new #1 team in the area. 9-0. St. John's will fall to 7-2. 57 seconds remaining in this game. St. John's can stop it once more. LeBlanc takes a knee. Clock is stopped with 55 seconds.
Now there's a look at the crowd. Most of them on that far sideline from Wachusett. There's a lot of St. John's folks in there tailgating, but that was the atmosphere we had for you today. It was a Thanksgiving Day-like atmosphere here with the crowds.
Well, you look at the numbers right now. St. John's total offense 126 yards, 55 through the air, 71 on the ground. Wachusett 294 yards of total offense, 251 on the ground, and 43 through the air. And LeBlanc hasn't had to throw a whole lot this season. He did in this game, and he was very effective when he did. Came up with some huge third down throws to keep drives alive.
Yeah, he really delivered a lot of good balls here. And there's third down, another knee.
And St. John's cannot stop the clock anymore. So you'll see when they spot the football, they may have to run one more play.
I have to know exactly how much time is on the clock.
Yeah.
Wachusett, you figure, has it pretty much timed down to a second.
It'll take that time out.
Looks
I heard
like
2 seconds.
With 2 seconds, you just give it to LeBlanc, have him run around for a couple seconds, and then that's it, end the game. But you make sure you take enough time off.
Five seconds, Freddie King saying. There's 5 seconds left.
5 seconds officially on the field.
So
again, it's get the ball and try to run around.
Yep.
Or, I don't know if you have to take a full 5 seconds off the clock. That's a lot of time.
It is. To run around and not get downed.
That's a lot of time.
That's
for
a
5
decision.
seconds.
Yeah, you got a decision to make. I mean, you have Connor McDavid, who's a tremendous punter. So do you snap it to him, let him run around in the end zone?
No, not near the end zone.
And try to step out of bounds. Well, you don't want to get downed if he gets tackled. You don't want him to get downed on the one.
Well,
right? You take the safety.
He's not going to be near the end zone. They're
still anything.
They're still out around the 20-yard line.
That's what I'm saying. So you'd have, if you do you have McDavid run around in the end zone?
Just make a beeline for the.
If he gets tackled down inside the 10, with any time left.
Well, they're not even going to go to that situation. They're going to take another timeout and talk about it. I think that's probably the call.
They're doing the same thing because McDavid's so fast. Let him go.
Have him run around, just hold on to the football, and make sure he gets into the end zone.
Worst case scenario,
take the safety.
You take the safety
with
and then you kick it off.
Timeout. I don't know.
Who knows?
That's why Mike Dubzinski gets paid the big bucks. That's why he gets the big bucks over there. I'll tell you though, defensively, there could be a run on tattoos with Mark Wild after this performance.
Yeah.
Maybe every defensive coordinator in Central Mass may have to go out to Wild's place.
What a great defensive effort by this Wachusett team. 5 seconds again remaining in this game. They're going to have LeBlanc under center. LeBlanc going back.
Stay on his feet.
Trying to stay on his feet as long as he can. He does, and time runs out. And Wachusett celebrates. The Mountaineers, they run the final 5 seconds off the clock, and they win it 14-7 over St. John's. There will be a new #1 team in Central Mass. We'll take a break and be back to wrap it all up right after this. And we're joined now by our player of the game for Wachusett, Matt Pedoni. 2 touchdowns, Matt. First, just take us what you're feeling right now. 2 teams, the top 2 teams in the area. You guys come out on top by a 14-7 score.
Oh, well, you always look forward to playing St. John's. And, I mean, it was a hard-fought game. I got to give all the credit in the world to them. I mean, they played hard. They hit hard. They played a great game. But, I mean, coming out on top is just, it's a great feeling.
Matt, your offense and your defense. It can be someone new every single week. With the running backs you have, you got the call a lot here today. How big was that last touchdown, and what's going through your head as you took off around the corner?
Well, we had a toss play, and I saw room in front of me, and I cut it upfield, and I made a good move on one of the defenders, and then I saw all green in front of me, and I scored that touchdown. And it was a big one. I'm just happy I could put that one on the board for my team.
What about the work of your offensive line today? Because you got, you had the bulk of the carries, but tell us about the offensive line and the work they did opening up holes for you.
Oh, they're a tough group. I mean, all week in practice, they go at it the hardest. I mean, meetings, day in and day out, watching film. I mean, they're a tough group of guys, and I appreciate everything they do, keeping me safe out there.
Matt, you still have some work left to do, a couple of weeks left, of course, Thanksgiving and then playoffs. But, last year's win, a program win for you guys over St. John's. How does this year's win on their field compare to that?
Well, I mean, last year, that was the first one in a while, and I think this year people kind of counted us out at the beginning of the year, and they didn't know how much we had, and we came back. And again this year, I think we've proven ourselves. Just like last year, and it feels great, and just, great win again this year.
All right, Matt, thanks for joining us, and congratulations on the big win here today.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
That's Matt Pedoni. 2 touchdowns today, close to 200 yards rushing. There is a new #1 team in Central Mass, the Wachusett Mountaineers, winners 14-7 over St. John's. And join us next Saturday afternoon as we bring you live coverage of Holy Cross football. The Crusaders taking on Lafayette. We will bring you all the action from Fitton Field beginning at 12:30. Our producer is Sean Grady. Statistician is Phil Robo. For Andy Lacombe and our entire Charter TV3 crew, I'm Kevin Shea. Thanks for watching, everyone. So long from St. John's, Wachusett, the new #1 team in the land. They win it 14-7.